So Hassans Critique, his reason for why he's against debate, that Noah felt was good enough to clip out and be like
Yeah,
a
a big
slam dunk,
gotcha moment. This is
a
the mic
gotcha
drop
moment.
moment from Hassan.
Is Hassan saying debate bros are bad because they actually don't care about the positions they're debating?
You think that's what he said. But
That is what he
if
said.
I said right now, hey, Hassan, tell me the difference between materialism and idealism. Hassan is not going to answer.
No, I
Hassan does
understand it, but
not fucking know the difference between materialism and
right,
idealism.
but even beyond that, he's giving a very vapid answer. Someone is like, "Oh, isn't it good to have your ideas challenged?" And then Hassan warps this around to the self. He's very defensive about this. He's like, "Oh, well, debate bros actually don't care about what is true." It's like, okay, well, I mean, that's like your opinion, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, is there some substance there? Is there something going to back that up? Do you have an
You're
example? Do you have, give me some example that shows that Hassan Piker, the non-debate bro, cares more about the things he advocates for over a debate bro? Right? That would
you're
be the slam dunk you'd be looking for, Noah, not just him making this empty, vapid statement, which then Hassan, every fucking day of his life, destroys because it is very obvious Hassan Piker doesn't give a fuck about
right.
his
Totally.
philosophy and his principles.
The hypocrisy aside, it's
Yes.
you are being completely charitable with Hassan, piecing together that he said something intelligent there.
Do you think
Like,
he's just saying gibberish?
yes,
I don't think he's
basically,
saying gibberish. I think he is saying, because he's made this point in the past. So this
they
is like
don't
his
care about the morality of the ideology. They don't have
right.
a well materialist grounded perspective.
Well, no, no. Maybe this is why we're perceiving it differently. He's made this exact argument to Destiny several times and
Mhm.
against. This is his anti-Destiny argument.
Oh, it
He
is?
thinks that Destiny just argues things to argue things and to win conversations.
Hmm. Okay.
And so that's what he's basically alluding to.
Okay. You're still giving him the benefit of
Okay.
the doubt here.
Well, I'll be good faith, Gary,
Is a
by
video that
calling him a
covers the
hypocrite.
history and current state of BreadTube or LeftTube and the barriers posed to non-white creators on this platform. There's a section in this video that had some things to say about Debate Bros.
This is what I fucking hate. Cuz the barriers I view as very technical. But he doesn't really talk about any of the barriers. He comes up with this mythos of white supremacy that is the fucking barrier, like it's white people's fault.
Right, right.
It's so fucking evil.
Well, everything's white people's fault.
I know. Look, I understand the technical challenges of being a black creator in a space that's mostly dominated by white people. But if you want to talk about that in a pragmatic kind of way, that's fine. But it's not going to help them get ahead in their
Well,
creator status by just being completely racist against white people. That's
yeah,
not the way you're going to grow your YouTube channel.
yeah, but here's the thing. I don't even know if this criticism is even true, because obviously the space is dominated by white people.
Yes.
Because white people are the majority of the fucking country of the United States of America.
Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
If black people only make up 13% of the population or something,
Yes.
if you took all of the bread tubers and you arranged them by subscriber count, would it actually, I don't know what the answer is. Would it be
This is equity right here.
Would there be a racial disproportion of YouTubers and streamers of color that don't have large audiences or not? Because if it's 13%, then that makes fucking sense. That doesn't mean that there's some systemic barrier preventing, socialists of color from becoming big in breadtube spaces.
That is literally equity.
But that's what I don't know the answer.
They would
It doesn't
argue that
seem
white
way.
they would argue that white audiences are racist for not watching black creators.
I mean,
that's what they would argue.
the-
That is
the
white
number-
supremacy.
The number one political streamer in the entire world is a fucking socialist named Hassan Piker. Now, Hassan Piker says he's white, but he is also a minority. He's not European of Anglo-Saxon descent. He's fucking Turkish.
He's not black or brown. Doesn't count. He's white passing.
I don't know. It's ridiculous.
It's still white supremacy. You know it is.
I get. Is it? I don't know.
Let's take a look at a clip.
And this problem with debate bros and their fandom, who understand make up a very significant chunk of LeftTube viewing, including my own, is the problem of most white LeftTube, both creators and consumers, which is for all of the theory and research and outward rejection of white supremacy on paper, the vast majority have not taken the time to dismantle the white racial frame through which they see the world. So even with...
This is why I'm so against CRT, is because CRT makes that literally impossible.
Even the bread tubers, they're still racist, Adam. They could be so woke and they're still racist because they're white.
Yeah.
They haven't dismantled their whiteness, Adam.
Yeah. Do you listen? How many white people want to consume content from black creators that are just calling them racist? Like, how is that?
I know it does, apparently.
I mean, that's. Do you think there's a huge demand for that? Somehow, I don't think there is.
Well, and I mean, this guy has like 3 times the subscriber count as Noah does, so I don't even know
what views. Because this is exactly what he's talking about. This is white supremacy right here.
Yes.
The white woke person will subscribe to the channel but never watch the content.
Maybe. I don't know what is. I didn't really pay attention to what the views are. What's the guy's? Cannot remember this guy's name for the life of me.
I can't either.
I keep wanting to call him JD Salinger. JD Salinger is not the guy's name.
Do you think
FD Signifier?
FD Signifier.
I mean, no, his videos get no, like this video that he's referencing, it's from 2 months ago, but it has, over 300,000 views.
Oh, okay.
So he gets good views.
Yeah. Okay. It's
yeah.
huge.
I mean, he doesn't seem like he puts out videos, very often. But no, he gets good views.
Go FD.
So, well, no, I don't like this guy. He's fucking racist.
Well, I mean, I guess there is a large population that wants to hear this racist content.
Well, what
best in
Go ahead. I keep cutting you off.
Wait. Never mind.
Intentions, the behavior and viewpoints born out of this space is still going to be rooted in racist frameworks unless the concept of whiteness is addressed. Essentially, if you read Marx and Trotsky and Gramsci and What You Want to Do Ski and whomever else, but not Du Bois, Fanon, Hooks, Crenshaw, etc., you might be a leftist white supremacist. And thus this color.
Yeah. Vosh's critique of the Professor Flowers situation was she was a race essentialist, and that was wrong. That to say all white people are colonizers is wrong, is incorrect. It's race essentialism. It's racism. He's basically doing the same thing here. This is exactly the same thing.
Well, here's the trick they do. And it's funny because this is the same trick that happened in the Hopi book, which is why I thought it was so strange that it was being recommended. They say, oh, I don't have to prove that you're racist or white supremacist by your actions or words. All I have to say is you, A, exist in a system that was built from white supremacy. Okay, I don't even have to prove that the system currently is a white supremacist system. It's just it was built originally from some point hundreds of years ago that was built on white supremacy. And the authors that you've read also lived in that system, and therefore, vis-a-vis ergo ad hocto ad proctum, must be white supremacists. Therefore, vis-a-vis ad hoc pro tempum means you are a white supremacist.
Yeah.
Just because you read their words and you live in this society.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
So
guilt by association.
And I think that's why this, McWhorter is so right when he talks about this, like the cult of wokeness being a religion, because the concept of whiteness and white supremacy that they use is original sin.
Yes,
totally. That if you are white, you are born with this original sin that you must cleanse yourself of by deconstructing your whiteness.
Right.
Okay. By taking the communion of Kimberly Crenshaw.
Of wokeness. Yeah.
Yes.
Totally. Yeah, no. You got to bow down before the altar of wokeness and proclaim your sins. I'm white. I'm a sinner. No, it's fucking laughable for us, but I mean, we're not ensconced in this cult, okay? We can see right through it. The most interesting thing that I see about the most interesting point that I want to make in this whole breakdown is that Vosh is at times ensconced in the same ideological cult until someone attacks him.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden he can see through the attack that came through the little window of the CRT bubble. He realizes, oh wait, this is all just racism. Like
right.
He nails it. He completely sees outside of the ideological bubble, but it takes someone attacking him for him to be able to do that. Everybody else is just in the cult.
Well, that's what's hilarious about Vosh's reaction to this, is that it's so classically ideologically blind human behavior.
Yes.
Like, I'm going to pick up the banner of this ideology and I'm going to wave it. I'm going to fight it to the death. The second some aspect of it is being used against me, I'm going to become the most logical, rational person in the world and explain why the ideology is bad or racist.
Yes. This is we never covered any of the Professor Flower stuff. And it's so perfect. Like Vosh does not even know that he's taking James Lindsay's position in this exchange. Yeah. He doesn't know. It's fucking fascinating. And Noah's still in the bubble. Noah doesn't know what's going on. He's in the bubble. Right. This guy's in the bubble. They're all in the same ideological bubble. Yes. But Vosh has escaped the bubble just for 15 minutes to join James Lindsay and Christopher Rufo taking on the anti-CRT position.
Right.
Is the nature of leftist content and inadvertently makes things dangerous for the marginalized voices that get caught in the wake of this highly toxic, highly negative energy.
If that last...
See, it's just this highly toxic, highly negative energy.
Well, it makes it dangerous.
That's dangerous.
I don't know if you know this, Adam. Okay. Vosh being a debate pro, ContraPoints being white, and being on BreadTube, it just makes the space dangerous for people of color.
A lot of toxic energy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's very dangerous. There's been a rash of BreadTube on BreadTube violence where angry socialists show up at the houses of socialist black streamers and try to lynch them. It's a big problem.
This is the thing. This wokeness is in many ways anti-diversity. Even though it stands under the banner of diversity, it's really against diversity.
It is anti-diversity.
Yeah. So, I mean, it really is the people who are in favor of racial and ideological and intellectual diversity against the people who want, they're basically like black nationalists. I feel like Professor Flowers, who's covered in the video rather extensively, I mean, she has a black nationalist position. Of course, she's like a separatist.
Right. Well, it's interesting because basically what you've had is that the BreadTube hierarchy is constructing itself along the lines of some sort of competency hierarchy. Now, it's a competency of being a good propagandist or being, whatever, which we all disagree with the propaganda, but they are competent. Like, that's why people are being risen to the top of this BreadTube hierarchy, is how competent they are at spouting propaganda.
True. Yeah.
But then the issue is that the BreadTube is built on the philosophy that A, hierarchies are all bad and evil, and B, that there's this oppression matrix where, white people are constantly oppressing, non-white people. And so it's kind of created an unsustainable community because, you'll get these periods, these lulls where streamers will rise up to the top for being competent at being propagandists, but then it'll all get torn down again because the founding belief, the founding philosophy of BreadTube is you have to tear down white people and raise up non-white people. And so if there's any competent white people or white passing people that rise to the top, they will eventually have to be torn down, or they will have to turn against the founding philosophy of, race Marxism, basically.
Right. So eventually competent people of color will be at the top of the hierarchy.
Right. Well, they should
or
rise the
competent
hierarchy
marginalized
regardless.
people.
They will
I mean,
rise the hierarchy regardless.
ContraPoints is trans, so I mean that perfectly encapsulates.
Yeah, but she's white though, so who cares?